Hello everyone, it is Dominic here, and today I'm going to be making a video on packing for an exchange because I am currently approaching the very end of my exchange, which is very sad. And yeah, I'm currently in the stage of packing my suitcase, and I have got a lot of just stuff, and I thought it would be a good idea to, I guess, give people advice on what you should pack for an exchange, what you shouldn't pack for an exchange, because obviously I've been in Japan now 10 months. I now know what I shouldn't have brought with me from the UK, what I should have brought with me. And so yeah, today I'm just going to be talking about all those things, and then I guess at the end I'll update you on the progress of my packing, which by the way isn't going great. But yeah, anyway. So the number one biggest piece of advice I have for anyone coming on an exchange is do not pack too many clothes. Now this may seem like a very strange thing to say, considering an exchange is usually like a year long, but let me elaborate. Now the reason I say this is because I'm a high school exchange student. If you're coming on a high school exchange to Japan, you're like 100% certain to be wearing a uniform. Wearing a uniform means Monday to Friday you're not going to be wearing your own clothes, you're going to be in a school uniform. And Japanese schools are not like Western schools where we have a lot of breaks. Japanese schools have short holidays, they go to school pretty much every single day, weekends as well they go to school, so you do not have many opportunities to wear your own clothes. Now I came from the UK bringing pretty much, for some reason, my entire wardrobe with me. I wore about a quarter of the clothes I brought with me. I have just endless number of t-shirts and trousers and shorts, clothes that I saw for the first time in 10 months when I looked in my box over there. So I brought way too many clothes, and over 10 months you will accumulate a lot more of just everything that you buy here. And when it comes to going home, when you have a lot of stuff that you haven't even used, loads of clothes you haven't even worn, it is just annoying. So yeah, do not bring too many clothes. Next is do not overpack toiletries. Now I say this from my personal experience. I came from the UK with a plethora of shampoos, conditioners, body washes. I just have so much here that some of these, these aren't even opened. They're just in my bag. Don't know what I'm doing with these. These are really heavy as well, they just take up so much space, and it is just not great because when you're coming home you're going to have to bring it all back with you. I'm having to throw away a lot of it because obviously I don't have enough space in my suitcase, I need to make space, so those are the first things to go. So yeah, do not bring too many shampoos or that sort of stuff with you. The chances are you're going to be able to use the stuff that your host family uses, they're going to let you use their soaps, etc, etc. If you want to bring your own from home, then definitely do, because you don't know if they're going to sell them in Japan. But at the same time, do not go overboard like I did. Next, be careful on food laws. Now I say this because a lot of people will want to bring food from their home country to Japan when they come in exchange. But before you come, please check with customs what sort of food you're allowed to bring into the country, what you're allowed to not bring in. You don't want to get in trouble at the airport before you've even properly arrived in Japan. That is not the best way to start your exchange. Also when you're leaving, make sure you're checking actually with the food laws in your own country, because for example, I wanted to bring rice back from Japan to the UK, and there's a weight limit on how much rice you can bring. You can only bring 2 kilos back into the UK. If I bring more, then that's illegal or whatever. So just make sure you check those little laws before you come in your exchange, because... But yeah, before you leave, make sure you do check food laws. That is another big thing that people tend to overlook. And the final thing of not to pack is too many towels. Again, just like clothes, towels take up way too much space, and you are very likely to be lent towels by your host family. I would not rely on this, so don't bring no towels expecting your host family to give you towels. That's obviously not great, that's not a good thing to do. But at the same time, do not do what I did and bring 5 million towels. I'm having to throw some away, leave some here, and it's just a complete waste, and yeah, just do not do that. But next, moving on to things that you should pack for an exchange. Firstly, make sure you pack some presents for your homestay family. I think this is a given. You're going to be staying with them from anywhere from, I don't know, 1 month to a couple of months, to some people even stay with a homestay family for their whole time here. And I guess when you first meet them, it sort of breaks the ice to giving them presents, etc. So that's a good thing to do. Give them something that's typically something from your country. So obviously, me from the UK, I brought mine tea, I brought them some English biscuits, that sort of thing. Next is plan for all seasons, and this goes for clothes. Japan is a country that has very distinct seasons. Unlike the UK, where it's pretty much just rainy the whole year round, Japan has very cold winters, it has mild autumns and springs, and then it has very hot summer. So make sure you're packing clothes that are suitable for the whole year round. Do not just think, oh yeah, it's September at the moment, it's kind of cool, so I'm just going to pack the stuff that I would usually wear. Do not do that. Make sure you're thinking ahead of all the season that you're going to experience in Japan. Next is pack any equipment that you think you'll need. So for example, if you're going to be joining Japanese like school clubs, I would suggest you kind of think before you come to Japan what club you're going to be joining, and if it's something that you already do in your home country, then I would suggest bringing that stuff with you. So for example, if you're going to be joining an orchestra and you play, I don't know, like the flute, bring your flute with you from home. Or if you're going to be playing like soccer, or football, if you're going to be playing football, then make sure you bring like shin pads, all that sort of stuff with you, because it saves you having to buy it in Japan, and it saves you, I don't know, having to like borrow it from someone. So yeah, that is another thing that I would definitely suggest. And finally, medicine. Now I'm saying this because the type of medicine that you're going to have in Japan is going to be very different from the country that you're coming from. So it would be a good idea to bring things that you know work for you at home. So for example, if you're from the UK, this means bring things like paracetamol with you, because it's not sold in Japan, and if it is, it's very expensive and you don't really know what you're looking for. So it saves you a lot of hassle if you bring it with you from home. Now this last thing I actually did plan, but unfortunately for some reason on the plane I had a headache, then I wasn't thinking properly. I put my headache tablets on like the food tray, gave the tray to like the flight attendant, and that was just all my pills just gone. So yeah, unfortunately I didn't have any medicine in Japan, but for any of you guys coming to Japan, do not make the same mistake as me and accidentally throw away all of your like pills. That's just stupid. So yeah, those are the top tips I guess I have for things to pack and things not to pack. But yeah, I guess the biggest piece of advice overall is just remember to pack lightly. And it sounds stupid because obviously an exchange is a long period of time, but you will accumulate so much stuff over the period you're here. In my case, this is manga. I'm going to show you my suitcase in a minute. Absolute mess. But it will just save you so much hassle, and it will just be like so less stressful if you pack kind of lightly, like things that you definitely need, things that you definitely do not need, leave them behind. It's just all those sort of things. So yeah, I guess I'll quickly like show you how my packing is going. Basically, when I came to Japan in October, I had this one big suitcase, and well, inside this suitcase, I was actually quite clever. I put this suitcase inside, so I packed the suitcase within the suitcase, because like I anticipated that I was going to be leaving with like loads of extra stuff. And well, if we look inside, I don't really want to open it because it's all packed like really well. But if we look inside this one, I've got like, what have I got in here? I've got my uniform, I've got like a calligraphy set, I've got clothes, I bought like a kimono for my mum. Under here I've got like t-shirts, and then at the very bottom of this suitcase I have manga. And manga has been like the thing that I've bought the most in Japan. Like I think I'll show you on the screen how much manga I brought with me, but it is just abysmal. Like this suitcase, it's probably a bad idea to open this actually. This suitcase, on the top, on the surface, it looks like I have just brought clothes, but if I like peel away the lower layers, you can see like I've like actually wrapped it up really well with like bubble wrap, but I just have manga, and this entire suitcase is like filled with manga. Like that is the only thing I basically brought back. It's like a really thin layer of clothes on the top, and then just the rest is manga. And then moving on to this like tiny little suitcase over here. This is probably, well, here we go. I've got like this big, I don't know what this is called, like a sweater thing that I bought in Japan in winter because I was like gonna die. And then you just look in here and it is just, yeah. I've got about 60 volumes of manga in here. I've got another like 60 in there. I've got like 30 in there, I think. And then I have some more manga, so yeah. And also I still have loads more clothes to pack and put in my suitcase. So this is including everything that I've already thrown away. And yeah, as you can see, my room is still quite messy, and I still have like, well, I have 3 full suitcases already. So who knows what I'm even going to do with packing. Yeah, my sort of approach has been to like not think about it until the time comes. I am one of those really unorganised people who just like leaves their packing to the very last minute, like 2 AM on the day before you're supposed to leave. And yeah, that is just how I've done things all the way up until now. But this year I've promised myself I'm not going to let that happen, because flight back to the UK from Japan is long, and I do not want to like be exhausted before I get on the plane. But anyway, yeah, that is my advice for packing. That is how my packing is going. Hopefully, for anyone who's coming on an exchange to Japan, this is sort of like cleared up for you what you should pack, what you shouldn't pack. But yeah, I do not have very long left in Japan. It's kind of sad that I'm leaving. But anyway, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.